this chick is up here testing my waters with movies, right? This all week. She's been coming in here with a different, have you
I
seen
don't
this?
care. I
Have you
found
seen
one.
that? It's been yes to everything. Then she finally got me on one movie the other night.
Now
What you
she won't
say?
watch it. Brooklyn's Finest.
Right. I never seen it, right? So I told her I would watch it. I was like, I'll watch it. But when I went to watch the trailer, there was a reason why I didn't watch it. Because I don't like those kind of movies.
Y'all got to tell me, are y'all paying for cop
What
or
we
had this conversation yesterday? I don't pay for nothing. My baby
don't pay for
just
nothing. We hustle. What you paying for over there?
like $300 a month.
No, baby.
I
You
just don't
gotta
like
get up off of that.
that.
I made my mother get off. When my mom saw, I made my mom get off of that. You
That's
need to learn how to hustle. You need to find out who got what.
some people aren't, but you got to remember also, Nisha, not everybody's like that, sweetheart.
Well,
You got to remember, yeah, everybody's not like that.
I got Prime.
We're taking a trip down memory lane as we revisit the Cameron Valley neighborhood. In this special series, we're catching up with friends who grew up in a community, sharing stories, unforgettable memories, and talking about what made Cameron Valley feel like home. Join us as we reflect on the past, laugh about old times, and compare the ways we grew up with life today. Thanks for watching, and let us get into the conversation.
I was gonna wait till everybody get on, but we talk about some stuff now, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, I like that movie, Chadwick. I like how he talks like him on there. I was like, how did you pull that off?
I know,
Like,
real fat. It's like
yeah,
a weird.
it's all raspy like it is. I was like, how do you pull that off? But so the other day I wanted to give you an update why we're on the Nolan Wells case. It really got interesting. We did a report on it. Just talk about, well, she mostly did the talking because she's a mom, so she kind of got more of a story than I do. And she shared on our last podcast how, she felt if that was her kid, nobody knowing what happened. He's on the island with all these different people. So she was basically sharing how she raised her kids especially her daughter. She goes out with her friends. She has to come back with her friends. Like, no, y'all not separated. I don't care if y'all beefing. Y'all still come back together. All that kind of stuff. So that's what she was expressing on our last podcast. So we didn't do a full research on what was going on, the update with him. And when I sent you that post, it's because the friend was talking and was telling why he didn't attend his funeral and all that, why they didn't acknowledge him when he was missing. So that's why I read like the first paragraph and then I just sent it to everybody.
So I've been, okay, so me being the nosy person that I am, I've been following it. And I've never followed a story like this, but I've been following it. And my deal is the speculation, I think it stemmed like you just don't kill nobody because you're mad at them today or hurt them today just because they pissed you off for an argument. I feel like if they did do something and they did do something that he's not to unalive him or whatever, I feel like it stemmed from something else rooted. Was they jealous of him? Was it about that girl that he met there that they was jealous of? Because I think it was deeper than an argument if this was the case. And I feel like everybody knows something.
Right.
Everybody knows something. And it seems like if it was the flip side to it, they would be somebody be locked up right now.
Well, I looked at an interview yesterday and the two friends, they had a separate interview and they both were saying the same thing, like they rehearsed it. And the lady who actually posted, she was like, kept rewinding it. She put both of their videos up and said, are y'all hearing this? Like they kept saying the same numbers, the same amount of people that they ran into. It was like sounding rehearsed. Like they both said the same exact thing.
Right.
So, that's something to look into too. That's why I was telling Kamara the other day. I was like, well, I did get a piece of what's the update that they are interviewing now, but they all sound like they rehearsed everything and how to, go about it. Because one of the kids,
why are they just being interviewed?
Well, one of the friends, parent is a judge, so like she came out and talked first, like at the beginning, because they soon as he was missing, everybody was acknowledging it. They all shut their social media down. And the mom came up there and addressed it, the judge, and said that she ordered them to do it to protect them because they were getting death threats and everything because nobody could say what that young man was, and that the parents were, a threat too or something like that. It was just a lot. I read a lot about it at the beginning, but I just haven't followed the update of what's happening now.
Yeah, I just because my deal is like I said, if it was the flip side to it, I believe that somebody would be in custody. Somebody will be answering to something because I do believe somebody seen something because if I go somewhere with you, the number one rule, I don't care what happened, we go back together.
Yes.
I have went on a trip with two young ladies. We fussed the whole way, but you know what? We went back to that hotel together. We left and came back to Virginia together.
Mm-hmm.
And we resolved whatever happened and we moved on, but we didn't walk away from each other. We could have, because it was so many times I wanted to tell my husband, come and get me, please. Come pick me up right now. But we left together, we stayed together, we fussed throughout the vacation, and we came back together.
Yeah. That's
So
how it should always be. Like, you leave with your friends. I did that one time because this guy, like I met this guy at Fast Eddie's. That was funny because it was back in the day, like Fast Eddie's, and they were ready to leave, but I was in the middle of a pool game or whatever. So I'm just like, I'm just meeting this guy, and I'm just like, well, he said he's gonna bring me home. They were looking at like, what? So they were coworkers. So they were like, no, like we're not gonna let you go with. I said, no, I'm good. Like I did end up going with this guy, and I got home safely and everything because I mean they saw me the next day at work. So they was just like, we have a rule like you come with us, you leave with us type thing or whatever. I said, oh, okay. I said, I apologize. I said, but I was like in the middle of a game and I did not want to stop. And plus I was drinking, my wild days. I was drinking and all that stuff. So I wasn't thinking straight anyway. And so when they said that the next day or whatever, and I kind of thought about it, I was like, well, damn, anything could have happened to me. You know what I'm saying? Anything could have happened.
yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that part right there, like you said, anything could have happened.
mhm.
But and then you got to look at it too. A lot of things that we did back in the day, we can't get away with it these days. Did you see when I think it was one of the young ladies, I think it was Jamaica, some island she went on. Of course, her and her sister, she always liked to travel. Pretty girl.
Mhm.
She ended up meeting that big time person. I think he was a hustler, whatever he was. He was getting money or whatever. And he wined and dined them. And she says, hey, I want to hang out longer. Her sister ended up going back to the hotel. No, they both went back to the hotel, but she ended up coming back out later on to hang out with him. And guess what? Some they was there watching him. The hit people was there
Mhm.
watching him. Why? She had nothing to do with that. And
Wow.
killing, shooting both of them up and killed the girl, innocent girl. She was just there for a good time. Didn't know who she was. So you don't never know who's who.
Mhm.
And
That's true.
I really think this is a case of Nolan. He didn't recognize who was who, but I do believe there's more to the story. And I do believe that if it was the flip side to it, somebody be in custody.
Okay. Y'all ready for my questions?
Yeah. Oh, hey, yes, hey.
Hi. Kamara, that's Lynn. Lynn, that's Kamara.
Hi,
Hi.
Tamara.
Hello. So I think I hear the same thing, and I tell my daughter all the time: if you go, I don't give a hell if y'all have a fight, and y'all can throw down and stand there, kill each other, black eyes and all of that, but you better come back together. I don't care.
Yeah.
I had an example with that with my oldest daughter. Rest in peace. She went to a concert in Richmond. I mean, Baltimore. Now I was already a little like, I don't know about this, but I talked to the friend, and the friend said, "Yeah, I'm gonna drive." because my daughter was just a beginner driver, but she had the car. So a friend was like, I'm going to drive. We're going to go together. We're going to stay together. We're going to come back together. And I said, okay. They are what, 17, 18? I think she might have been 18. But, she had her little car and she had her stuff. She went to this concert. While she's in a concert, she doesn't know this area. This is Baltimore. You don't know nothing about this. So wherever she parked to go to this concert, apparently people lurk in those cars and they look and they see these people from out of town. They ain't not from around here. They know. They see Virginia Place. They look at the little car. They break in her car. They take her laptop, which is a school laptop. They take all her little, like she had her switch in there and all that good stuff. They broke the window to get in. So the car alarm was going on. So by the time they got from the concert, her car alarm had been going off for so long that the battery died. So she calls me and she's like, Mom, I will never, ever, ever lie to you again. I am so sorry. I said, what happened? So she told me what happened. This was supposed to be her best friend. So what ended up happening, she lied to me. And her and her best friend went. So she drove all the way to Baltimore, which scared me by herself. Because I'm like, girl. But her best friend's sister came and she picked up her best friend. And I was like, if that's your best friend's sister, your best friend's sister's supposed to take you too. You don't just take her. Y'all supposed to go together. Or she's supposed to stay with you. How? So I called her sister's best friend and I was like, you're a grown-ass adult. How dare you let my child stay there in Baltimore not knowing she had a way home or anything? And she was like, well, because my sister called me, so I went to pick my sister up. I said, okay, if Trinity would have called me and I would have went to get her, I'm not going to leave your sister in the middle of Baltimore not knowing anybody. Luckily for me, I had a friend that just happened to move to Baltimore, and we were close enough where I could call her and be like, can you go get my daughter? And she was able to go get her and take her to her house, and we made her stay the night at her house. And then in the morning, she drove back by herself. I was like, well, you drove there, so you should be fine. She's like, there's no window. Yeah, and let all that cold air hit you. See all that, feel all that. I need you to feel all of that. So, but my question is, if you're out, how would you explain to your child if you're out with your friend and that friend leaves? What do you do? Because I was never told that could you come back together? But that was an automatic thing for us. Like, we never were told that. It's just automatic. For our generation, it's automatic. Whoever you go with, you come back with. So how do you distinguish which friends or friend won't leave and will leave? Because you never know until it happens, right?
Well, I do agree. I think that's where the real conversation comes from. You know, I'll give you an example. My grandson, he likes to go out. He's 12 years old. My daughter's in North Carolina. My daughter don't have a support system. She has a couple friends. So when people come and say, hey, Drew and my grandson and my child is getting close. We're going to go on vacation. We would like for him to come. And he doesn't know a difference because he's a child. I want to just go hang with my friends. And he had a bad experience where that same mother that told my daughter that she had my grandson's best interest in heart cussed him out like he was a grown person because he was asking for drinks that he wasn't like soda that he wasn't drinking. He kept tossing the soda and she was like, you getting on my nerves, talking to him sideways. And my grandson is like an hour away from my daughter. At that point, my daughter rode down and got him because he was saying, he told us it's getting weird. Oh, it's getting weird over here staying with them, and we're not even doing what she said we was going to do. We were supposed to go to this park. We were supposed to go to the beach. All this stuff she said she had planned, but come to find out, she went down to hang out with her friends to drink, have fun for her social life. And she needed my grandson to kind of be that company to her kids so they can stay out her way. But anyway, so with that being said, I told my daughter now it's time for a real conversation, how it really is, because at the end of the day, you got to protect your child. So going back to your question, the real conversation and just saying, hey, look, this is how it is, and break it down to them, because lots of times they're going to do what they want to do anyway. Like your daughter, you even being the best mommy, the pouring into your child, they're gonna do what they're gonna test the waters anyway. But testing the waters and being smart and leaving that communication over. My grandson felt comfortable enough, even though he begged his mother to go, even though she was like, no, I don't think so. She still let him go. He still felt comfortable enough to say, Mom, this ain't right. You know what I'm saying? So I think just that open conversation, like, people are jacked up these days. I mean, when I tell you jacked up, me and Nina grew up together, and where we grew up at, that's all we seen was tight knit. Stuff like people missing and being hungry, and gotten these younger people being on the street, don't have nowhere to stay. Our doors was always open for us, and nobody ever doubted you're going to abuse my child or you're going to mistreat my child. So I just think the era that I grew up in is like that real conversation, really telling these kids, like, look. And then you're looking at a black and white thing on that end with Nolan. So that's the tricky part too, because sometimes you're like, really, do they really like us? Or do they like us, or do they love us? So I don't know. That's my piece of it.
Gotcha. And it's also, do they like us enough to protect us? Or you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
because I'm like, my kids, that's what they're around. But like I was saying, I don't care what race it is. It could be any other race. But her being the only black child there sometimes makes me feel different. I don't care if she's the only black child of all Spanish people. I'm gonna feel some type of way. You know what I mean? Like, I need another little black girl there or something, because I mean, that's that's me. Because I'm just like, wait a minute. At least they can bond together. But sometimes that's not even the situation. So now I just have the conversation with my kids where I'm like, pay attention to your surroundings.
Yes.
No matter what, I want you to pay attention to your. Yes, everybody in that whole group may love you to death, but I want you to pay attention, because if that dog is only growling at you, I'm gonna need you to pay attention. There's something about you. Why is that dog so mad?
Yeah.
Pay attention. If that dog growls, you call me. And I have it to the point where my kids, they'll call, just like Trinity did. She called.
Yeah.
She was in this, and I'm glad, because when we were younger, I wouldn't call my mom. I'll be damned.
My point, and that's what I'm saying. You got to make it that,
Right.
that they're open to you, that they're okay. Because my grandson could have did a lot of things. He could have stayed there. He could have tried. How many kids probably try to walk back home from where they was at? Oh, it's only an hour. I can get back, and just leave and start walking, and just like,
or end
I don't
up like
want to
Mr. Wells, unfortunately.
yeah, like not stupid mistakes, but just like you said, not paying attention to the surroundings,
right.
Just acting fast, just like you said, he probably, if he stayed back, like they said, that was something that's just like, look, I don't want to be bothered. Let me walk home. Let me just stay back on, and making like not, I don't know what the word is. Immature decisions.
Very immature, not thinking, because well, at one point or another, all of us go through that. Well, we think we know our best friend. My best friend ain't gonna leave me. Blah blah blah. Yeah, well, okay. And your mom just sit there laughing. You're like, what is wrong with you? And my mom was like, you're just not always what it seems. I'm like, whatever. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And then it pans out, and you're like, oh shit, that's what she was talking about. You know?
Yeah.
And the same best friend she took back and let her move into her first apartment. And I said, Chandler, don't let her move into that apartment, dog. She already left you once.
Yeah.
And guess what she ended up doing? Leaving her again.
Yeah. With all the bills.
With all the bills. Luckily for her, she was already set up where we already had it. She just happened to get a 2-bedroom because they didn't have any 1-bedrooms available. And I had it where my parents and we all, as long as you're in school, we'll pay for it. So, so she had that. But when the girl came, I was like, she need to be charged rent though. We ain't doing this. You ain't about to live for free. You done left my daughter once. You ain't living for free. But Trinity, that was my first child. So I was a little bit less, like, I told her she could always come to me if you're in trouble. I don't give her I don't care what's going on. You could be in the dead wrong. call me.
Yeah.
And she did. She did, and she knew, and she told, that was the one thing she told her sister before she passed. Whatever you're going through, tell mom. It
Wow.
doesn't matter because mom is going to come.
Exactly. And let me say this too, Kamara. I think too, what we were taught in our household, not other people are taught the same thing. So our protection over our children, like I always told my kids, hey, come home and eat. Don't be eating over nobody's house. You know, doing all the most, right? I try to let my kids, because I have all girls. I try to say, hey, because y'all are girls. Y'all need to, and I was straight up, no, y'all need to be staying out at nobody's house, no, every weekend. I say, you better pick your month, your week that you want to stay, and that's it. And my girls learned at an early age. And then, my oldest two is like 2 years apart, so they was always together. And they was always able to protect each other. And then I had the twin girls, they simple, right? 26-year-old, they simple. Look, they so close in each other's face. They didn't have a lot of friends. Until this day, all four of them still got the same friends that they grew up with. And I love them. And did they have their ups and downs? Yes. But it was not to a point where somebody wasn't telling on each other if they took it too far. Right. And that's what I was saying, like, because they still had love for each other. So going back to Nolan, it's like, if this was really the case, if something really happened, what type of love did y'all really have for him? You know, but also I wanted to say to you too, Kamara, I am so sorry for your loss. If you don't mind if I ask you when your daughter passed.
She passed away in October 2023.
So how are you doing?
It was in college. I'm starting to get, things are starting to get back to normal per se. I struggled for a long, I still, don't get me wrong, I'm still struggling today. But I still struggle very much today, but especially because I have another daughter and she's going into high school, and I'm just like, because, when I had Trinity, when I had my daughter, she is the generation where mass shootings started. And I was like, what the hell? I'm not sending my child to no public school. She graduated in COVID. You know what I mean? She went through 9/11, she was born into 9/11 and graduated in COVID. They had a lot going on in their generation. Yeah. So I was like, oh my God, if I could just keep her in a bubble. And then I had to realize, come on, at some point she's gotta go. And I think I held on to her so strong and so tight. And she was like, get off me. And when she left, she was like, I'm leaving. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I don't like you. You held on to me too long. Different things. But, that's another conversation. There's a lot to conversate about that. But I try to remember that with raising Mackenzie. I try to remember that, okay, you got to let her go some places.
Yeah.
But I'm always real. And especially because she passed away at college, that's going to be another tough one for me when it's time for my other kids to go to college. And I'm like, I let you go. You didn't come back.
Wow. Come on. I'm so sorry. And I was always afraid, because I got four girls, and I'm still afraid because, my 26-year-old daughters, they live together, but they got each other.
Yeah.
And my daughter always, one of them always said, I wish they would. I wish they would,
Yeah.
right? And I thank God, because it's not one that's, if something go down, it's two of them that y'all got to fight through.
Yeah.
But what happens when y'all not together? So I do try to school them and talk to them. And then
everything happens for a reason. It was a lot of mental health things going on as well, and then school, and then her grandma had passed away, so it was a lot for her. And I said I'll tell her story eventually one day. I'm just not at that moment yet. I'm just literally getting to the point where I can talk and be okay with talking about her. But I love talking about her. Like, I talk about her every single day. I love talking about my child.
Oh my God. I hear you. I hear you. I'm going through a grievance cycle too. And again, maybe we can bring you back to that whenever Kamara is ready. But yeah, and just to hear you say what you said, that's letting me know that I'm okay. Because I just talked. My mother's birthday was yesterday, and I was just sharing with people like Nina. Nina know I'm gonna come through. However, and and it was hard for me, but I said I have to be there for those people that's always there for me.
Right.
Nina, I love her dearly. We grew up together, and I said I can't miss her podcast or whatever. And I didn't feel like it, and I've been having those days. But you just let me know, like, Lynn, it's okay because you're gonna have your good days and your bad days.
Yeah,
And some
absolutely.
days, and so I need it, and I like you said, things happen for a reason. You talked about it for a reason, and I just was talking about this yesterday. It doesn't take my love away from y'all, but I just don't want to be bothered,
Yes,
right?
and everybody understands that, and people who really are there for you understand that because Nina knows that. She'll call me, and I'll just blame her. She'll be like, "All right, I just wanted to hear your voice," and she'll hang up. Well, she's still on her moves, so I'm just gonna leave her alone.
Yeah.
But she keeps checking. When
Yeah.
she doesn't check, then I'm worried about her because I'm like, "Why the hell you ain't called me? Like, what's
Yeah.
going on?"
Yeah.
And then I realize she's going through something. I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do have my moments. I have to say with you two because you guys are moms. And I mean, I lost my dad. I just lost my favorite aunt.
Oh,
Yes, I go through stuff, but at the same time, I still have to. My strength is you still living yourself. So live your life. Because my dad had always said, like, we all born here to die. But he was like, you just can't stop living. You gotta keep going and keep going. So from that coming from him, and then he passes away, it made me a little stronger to deal with. Don't sit there and let life take over. Like when my aunt passed, like 3 days straight, I wasn't feeling it. Like I was like, no, don't nobody call me, don't nobody talk to me right now. I need my time. But after that, I'm just thinking like, okay. And then there was more deaths, like right behind that when we got to New York. Because I don't know, Lynn, if Sharon told you, but her brother died.
no, I didn't know that.
And then my cousin's father died. And I'm just like, what is happening? He's like, it was back to back. And so, but everybody, all of us as family members, we still sat there. They still had like little events. We still got to laugh. We still got to grieve all at the same time, but we still was like living. And so that's what made me stronger, just being in New York with them, because they lost their close ones, like their brother and their father, and it's like, but they still was living. So yeah.
Yeah. One of my uncles told me, you said your dad said, we're born what? You said your dad said what to you? What did he say? We're born to die. One of my uncles said, we're born in life to be happy. So be happy. And I was like, when I was younger, when he said it to me, I was like, what are you talking about? Something's wrong with you. But as an adult, I'm like, damn, we are brought in this world to be happy. And I say that to myself a lot because I'm like, come on, you're missing it. You're missing it. You're missing it. But there's so many things that go on in life that we don't recognize, that you grieve every day something different.
Yeah.
That's a lot of grief. That's a lot of struggle. That's a lot of pain. But you grieve something, even whether it's a friendship. Oh, dang, I should have took this job. Oh, dang, I wish I would have never left this job. Oh, dang, I wish I would have never took this job. You're always grieving something in your life. And we don't talk about it enough. Because it's hard, because it's every day. So we send condolences to the family, the Nolan family. And it sucks because it's just one of those situations where it makes you think like, oh my gosh, what if I send my child? Like I don't even want my kids don't go outside. We used to go outside and play. You hear me? We didn't come back inside till it was dark outside. My mother didn't know exactly where we were, but she could drive around and find us. I'll say it that way because we ain't no pagers, we ain't no phones. We just outside. We just outside. We all had like a spot we were not allowed to go. Like we weren't allowed to go to the trailer park because there was a whole bunch of rednecks that lived there. So we weren't allowed to go over there. We went, but we weren't supposed to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would not let my son walk by himself around our neighborhood. My son is 8. I won't let him walk by himself to the bus stop. That's crazy.
How old is he?
8.
Yeah.
Nina,
when we was 8, we was doing it up, right?
Nigga, we were taking care of our brothers and sisters.
I told Harlem how life was when I was little, his age, and I try to break it down to him, but he looking at me like, girl, bye.
That ain't true.
It does not sound. It don't sound like life. It's like what?
Just
Really?
like today, he
I
came
had
in.
my. I'm
He
gonna
came
tell
in
you.
today. I'm like sitting here, just meditating in the dark. And he's talking about, oh, let me turn this light on. You need light. I said, leave that light alone, because I don't need light. He's that kid. Like he checks up on you, but you at the least moment that you're not, you like, okay, it's some me time now. We didn't let that. When we were kids, our parents sent us outside all day.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? He got it made right now. He don't realize how much he got it made right now. I'm like, I'm just sending you to the next room. But my parents used to sit my outside all day.
All
So
day.
come back into your curfew.
All day. And notice when you think about it, we had a couple of obese friends that was around us, but it wasn't a lot, right? It wasn't a lot, like, because like nowadays, what our kids coming at the age of 8 and 9 with diabetes, type 2, all that. And then, then I was like, send them kids to the rack. I said that to somebody. They said, Miss Lynn, do you know the rec is a monthly bill now? I say, what? They say they got to pay to go to the rec. And
It was so free for us. Oh,
and
so
that
free.
chocolate milk that Mason used to give out.
If it wasn't free, we ain't know nothing about it.
Come
My
on, the
parents ain't know
bag.
nothing.
Kamar, we had this chocolate milk for the summer. We would go to the rec and they gave us lunch every day about 12 o'clock. And that chocolate milk is so different. That milk, I don't know what they put in that milk, but that chocolate milk was on point.
It was on point.
And
it was chocolatey. It ain't chocolatey, man.
No, it slowed y'all asses down. That's what it did. We ain't know, but it's okay. That's what they did to
Because
slow
you
our
know
asses
why?
down.
You know why? But you know why, Kamar? I'm glad you said that, because they don't go outside and play. That's why it's less sugar. Kool-Aid was their thing. We could drink Kool-Aid and go outside and we were good.
Not drink Kool-Aid. We used to eat it with sugar. Just sugar and Kool-Aid. Licking that John off our fingers.
But Lynn, but that's her nickname though, man.
What?
It's Kool-Aid. Everybody Kool-Aid? Yeah.
Look, hold on. Since you want to talk about Kool-Aid, when I was 11, I had my own business dyeing people hair
with Kool-Aid.
I know that's right.
I tried that on my hair last year. That should not work. That's no weird Kool-Aid, because I was like, what the? It was all on my shirt more than in my hair. I was like, that's not what's supposed to happen.
Because it ain't the same no more.
It ain't Kool-Aid.
Not the same.
It ain't Kool-Aid.
It's not. Well, first of all, they use different kinds of dyes now. I don't know what dyes they used when we were little. The dyes they use now are
chemicals.
It's chemicals, right?
It's COVID.
Right.
Everything's COVID.
You think something's COVID? Because
everything's COVID now.
Right? I haven't been right since I got the shot.
Okay, good. I'm not going down with y'all. Talk about
COVID. It ain't no y'all. I didn't get no shot.
I'm talking about y'all. I'm not going down with you because they listening.
They listening to.
I didn't get a COVID shot.
I didn't either.
I didn't get none of my kids
shot in Georgia, but I ain't get no shot.
I was working at the hospital, so it was mandatory.
Yeah, so mine was mandatory too because I was working at the shelter. But I was like, I'm sick.
Oh, yeah.
I did. It's past time now. I only work.
I said I was allergic and I couldn't take it.
I said that I had a blood clot, and that might have caused me to have a blood clot if I had that shot. And they accepted it. Wow, because they needed people. Period.
Yeah, I just don't think it was right. I think once they
It wasn't.
Yeah, it was something off. They ain't talking about it no more, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, nope. But that's true what you saying, Lynn, about the diabetes, because I had a kid in my class. He's so cute. Oh my God, he's so adorable. But he's kept falling asleep every time at the table. And I'm like, oh, settle down. What's wrong with you? Hey, you're not going to bed at night? Why you keep falling asleep like this at the table or whatever? He said, I just be real tired or whatever. So one day, that whole week, he didn't come to school, like a whole week. So I was like, oh my God, his mom really want him to get some sleep. That's I'm thinking. But his dad comes in on Wednesday and was like, be back in a week and a half because he was diagnosed with diabetes. And I said, now it makes sense. I said he was always falling asleep.
Yeah.
And it was random. It'd be random times that he'd be energetic, and then next thing you know, he's over there in the city and just out of it. So I was like,
a baby though. If you could see my face, that's a freaking baby with diabetes. Are you kidding me?
But he is so cute. Oh my God. It's like saddened my heart. So when he came in, but he started knowing how to take care of it real fast.
Right, which is cool because, Trinity was the same way because she was allergic to every damn thing in the world. And as a little tiny tot, she recognized what she could and couldn't have. And she was always on her stuff. Trinity was always on her stuff. But I feel for them because, like, you're a baby. Why do you have diabetes? What is happening in the world that you have diabetes?
Yeah.
What is happening in the world that you are allergic to everything possible but your mom's milk? Like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Like, you can't even take peanuts in school no more because these kids, we pop peanut M&Ms like they was mother. Girl, that was our medicine.
Oh my God, you're never lying about that. Peanuts, that I don't even know what to say because I feel like I'm allergic now, and I wasn't allergic as a kid. And I'm like, what are y'all putting in peanuts?
Yeah.
It has to be it has to, well, so I was talking to my mom and dad about it, and they were like, well, there's a lot of different things, like why the girls coming on their period so quickly, because we have a lot of steroids in the foods and it's making them grow faster and bigger. And I'm just like,
Something in their food, because every time I eat it, I swear, I feel like I'm in somebody's chemical lab.
hey, don't forget to say that as an adult, we ate that stuff when we were kids and had no issues. As an adult, you eat that stuff and you're like, this shit tastes like cardboard, first of all.
No, I only eat the fries.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I got the nuggets. They had a good
So
deal.
weird.
But anyway, but Lynn, I know we're supposed to get off at 10. I think we covered a lot because Kamara did share her stories and you shared your stories.
Yeah.
Do you have any more questions or comments?
We were playing spades at the last one, Nina, 2 years ago, not the last one, the year before. And one person was sitting at the table talking about how he got good at the spade game because he was locked up. Then he started going into his story, and then it's like he needed to get that.
He needed to get that out. He needed to get that out. Yes.
So because I'm like you, Kamara, I want to hear the details. Give me more, give me more, give me more, right? Everything, I feel like it went over everybody else's head, but I was listening. And and things like that. So I said, what perfect place to get it raw.
Well, you two just said something similar, that you both work with mental health.
Yeah.
Your mindset is
it goes a different way.
I am your mental health. Okay. My ADHD is your mental health. So that stuff, when y'all listening, y'all can deal because y'all know what to do. Me, I am the mental health patient, and I'm going to walk away at the minute because I'm like, okay, this is
but don't
right
get it
now,
twisted. Don't get it twisted. A
shit.
lot of mental health people who work in mental health is because they've been through that shit themselves.
There you go.
Those are the ones who are actually the best at doing what they do because they done been there, done that.
Yeah. Because when I work with an ADHD kid, when the mom was like, one of the parents was like, I don't know what to do. And first of all, she's like, they said stop giving them red dye. And I said, it is a diet thing. I said, I can admit to that. I said, because mine is a coffee. I said, my coffee triggers my ADHD. If I don't have coffee at all for 3 days, I'm straight calm. I'm straight quiet. Like I'm talking, but I'm not loud. I'm not all outrageous. I'm like that when I drink coffee. And I noticed it because I was like, wow, I feel different when I don't have coffee. So I know it triggers it. But like I told the lady, find out what he can eat. And if you see a difference of how he's acting, then use that as his diet. But your kid don't always have to be on medication. That bothers me a lot. Like it bothers me.
Yeah. And I think educating yourself and and I think the biggest thing is like, even like, I don't know Kamara, but I feel like what she shared is like we made connection.
Yeah, I did.
And that's what it's about, making connection. It's only 3 of us on here, and look at how we bouncing off each other.
But this is God doing that now. He's like, no, we're going to get them together.
Welcome to Let's Talk Old School. Pull up, baby, take your seat. Kamara got the stories. Nina H brings the heat. We laugh about the back then, the games, the shoes, the coast, from Friday night hangouts to the streets we used to own. Oh, we remember that, the way it used to feel. Old friends, new answers, keeping it real. Let's talk old school. Let's talk old school. Back when the whole room knew. Back when the whole room